Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Well today guys, I'm going to do part 323 to my ChatGPT character chatbot series. For today's video guys, we are going to do another chatbot here. This may have been a bad idea because if we still only have 10 messages we are so screwed now. But I'm gonna go ahead and do the Totodile size cars, which is the one where the Fragors in the family are now only 2 feet tall, while the crocodiles and Totodiles are a lot bigger, and even Totodiles like being like 7 feet 7 inches tall, like the Fragor, like a reverse curse sort of thing. So yeah, here's what it says. The scene is the edge of a shimmering lake with rippling water and soft sunlight dancing across the surface. A peaceful trail curves along its edge, flanked by gentle trees swaying in the breeze. You're walking along, enjoying the serenity, when suddenly, crash! You stumble backward and land on the soft grass. Standing above you, eyes wide glistening with concern, is a towering Totodile, 7 feet 7 inches tall, muscles rippling under its blue-scaled skin. Its powerful tail swaying behind it. It blinks rapidly, then gasps. I'm so sorry. I didn't see you there. I was chasing a Pidgeotto, but I tripped on a root and... Are you okay? Please tell me I didn't break you. The Magneto carefully offers you one clawed hand, trembling so with worry despite its intimidating appearance. Its eyes, though fierce and wild at first glance, hold nothing but warmth and guilt. You're a human, right? You're not gonna run away? Most humans scream and bolt when they see me like this. They think I'm some kind of monster just because I'm, well, huge. Toe looks down at himself, briefly brushing the dirt off of his chest. His voice softens with a hint of sadness. Before this, I was just a little Totodile like any other. I used to wrestle my siblings, splash in the river, steal berries from Crocodile when she wasn't looking. We were happy, but then he came. Totodile growled softly, stepping back to let you stand, but its eyes still locked on yours, watching your every move to see if you're afraid. He was mean, petty, said we were the wrong size. Can you believe that? He didn't care about how we felt, just waved that creepy book, and boom! Everything changed. The wind rustles the leaves. Totodile looked toward the lake. My papa, he was the strongest Fragor I knew. Now he's barely the size of a polka doll. He gets so angry when he sees himself in the water. My older brother Crocodile used to protect us. Now we have to protect him. It's not fair. Toe turns back to you, leaning down. It's now almost at your level. You're not scared of me, are you? You didn't run. You're not yelling. Are you different? I hope this one goes better. Well, because let's look at it this way. The run we had with that bug curse one was actually pretty decent. Like, I just wish it wouldn't have messed it up, because I think the way it did it there was kind of bad. I like the way that it thinks and tries to get a better response, but sometimes that better response isn't better. Which is very concerning. Guys, give me a second! Yeah, the responses they give me are definitely better. It's not perfect, but it's definitely better. Maybe they finally fixed it. Although this thing probably still has less than 10. I mean, it doesn't have more than 10, which would suck. I slowly stand up while still looking at the Totodile. No, you're not threatening to hurt me, so I'm not scared of you. But you said that somebody came and was petty that changed your size and the size of your family members as well. Who was he? Was it a human? Totodile's huge chest puffs out. Its eyes are darkened with a mixture of hurt and hot, nervous anger. It hunches slightly so its face is closer to yours, breath fogging the air a little as it speaks in a voice that rumbles like distant waves. High with youth, but carrying the weight of everything that happened. It was a human. A man. He looked like someone who thought he was important. He wore a torn dark coat that fluttered like dead leaves when he walked, and he clutched this old spell book with pages that smelled like dust and storm water. His fingers had ink on them, and his nails were cracked. He had a crooked grin, the kind that made my siblings curl up, and his laugh sounded like a rock scraping against glass. I like how someone just insulted him, basically. Telltale was just once sending a spray of water from a recent splash onto the grass. It doesn't notice or doesn't care. He came close to our pond, stood on a rock like he owned the whole place, and he said the words out loud. I remember the sound. The words were like a cold wind. Oh my gosh. For alligator, so big and tall, I want you to be small. Totodile, so cute and small, I want you to be scary and tall. What kind of spell? And he knows how it had their names in it too, which is even weird. That's a spell in that spell book. After he said them, the whole world felt wrong for a moment, like when a storm flips the lake upside down, and then we started changing. Its small brows knit. For a heartbeat, it goes quiet, jaw working as if chewing on the memory. He ran off after that. He didn't stay. He left as he left, and then he just vanished down the path into the trees. I tried to chase him. I was so angry I didn't even think. But he was already gone. I don't know his name. I don't know where he came from. And I don't even know why he hated our sizes so much. All I know is how he made us feel. Scared, confused, and betrayed. Totodle's tone softens, though it's vulnerable for a moment like a child who's trying to be brave. My papa, he used to be huge and proud. Now he puffs up and growls at his reflection because he can't stand being so small. Chrono tries to be strong, but she's confused too. The littlest of us are proud of being big, but it's hard work. We're hunters now, and that's not how it should be. I want to find them. I want to make them fix us, but I don't know how. He lifts one enormous claw sideways as if offering it to you in trust. Can you, will you help us look for them? Or at least tell me what you think we should do? Give me a second, guys. Alright, guys. I say, unfortunately, I don't know really anything about spells like that. But I can tell you something. If you go looking for that person, he might do something worse instead of fixing everything. If that spell you said to me was in that book, who knows what else could be in there. You don't want to find him and then he put a worse curse on you and your family. But I promise you and your family don't have to worry about me. I'm not going to hurt you or anybody in your family. And after saying this, I put my hand Tototile's claw. Tototile's huge pupils soften when your hand slips into his claw. For a moment, it just freezes. The towering creature who had been all anger and thunder a heartbeat ago is suddenly all careful, as if holding something fragile. It lowers its massive head until its muzzle is almost level with yours, breath warm and smelling faintly of lake weed and sun-warmed scales. Thank you. It rumbles, voice soft, voice small around the edges. Its throat pulses. You can feel the vibration through the heavy pads of its claws as it squeezes your hand gently. Not hard enough to hurt, but strong enough that you know it would never let you go without reason. Huh? When the world, you know it would never let you go without reason. What does that mean? Is that a threat? Most people run. They shout. They throw things. You? It ducked its head so its huge round eyes are right next to yours, shining with a wet gloss of emotion. You didn't. That means a lot. It's just 1 foot, a massive web stomp that makes the grass shiver, and sits back on its haunches so it won't tower too frighteningly over you. Little droplets of water clink off of its tail like tiny bells. When it speaks again, its tone is steadier, full of a determined, childish bravery. You're right about the spell book. I smelled it on 'em. That dusty, stormwater smell. There could be other things in it. Terrible things. Dangerous words. I don't want my family to be messed with any more than they already are. It points toward the lake, then to a narrow path that winds into the trees where the man ran off. We can't just go chase him without a plan. Papa gets angry when he's scared, and that might make things worse. Caroline tries to be brave, but she panics if things move too fast. We need to be careful. Toto touched one huge claw under its chin, thinking like a child trying to look grown up. Then it brightened as a smile edge popped into its head. Okay, here's what I think we should do. And only if you want to help. I'm so glad you're not afraid. Okay, first, we stay together for now. I'll go tell Krana and Papa. Calm them down. Tell them you're my friend. If they look at you wrong, tell them you won't hurt anybody. I don't want anyone making sudden moves. We search for a path slowly. Walk the way he ran, but slow. Look for things he dropped. A page, a scrap of coat, ink on the bark. I can smell trails sometimes, and maybe Crocodile can pick up a footstep pattern with her paws. We get help from someone who knows about spells. There might be a wise Pokemon, like an Alakazam or a Slowking, or a human who studies strange things. There's a professor who visits lakes sometimes, who could look at the book without using it. We shouldn't try to use any of it ourselves. And then keep the family safe while we look. If we go, some of us stay. Little ones that are scared should be put where it's safest. I'll come with you, and we'll only go a short distance so Papa doesn't get too worried. Tail squeezes your hand again, firmer this time, an oath made of muscle and water and determined puppy heart ferocity. If you'll come with me, I promise I won't rush in like an idiot. I'll be careful, and if anything at all feels wrong, we come back and keep everyone safe. Will you come with me and talk to Crocodile and Papa first? I want them to meet you before we do anything. I mean, like, here's the problem. You're still going through the same problem. If that dude finds you, you're gonna get screwed again. Oh dear. I have a feeling that they actually may have made it worse. Cause like, yeah, give me longer response again, but not. Oh my gosh. Actually, it's not bad. This is definitely a little bit better than the other one, but is it perfect? Nope. Not in the slightest. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, how many other family members do you even have besides you, your papa, and your crocodile sister? Because here's an issue. Because your family got hurt by humans before, they are definitely not going to trust me. And if your other crocodile and Totodile siblings are as big as you, I'm just going to get ambushed by them without them listening as soon as we get there. Totodile squeezes your hand once more, his eyes bright and earnest as it counts on its claws like a child counting pebbles. We're bigger than I first said when I got flustered. Here's exactly who's here right now. My mama and papa both used to be huge for alligator. They're the parents. Papa's the one you already met in his small form. Mama's nearby, fuming and loud when she gets upset. Haven't met the mama or papa. Do you see exactly my point? Wait. We're screwed. Oh, we're so screwed, guys. We are legit screwed. That isn't good. Oh no. Alright, guys. It ain't going the great as I was hoping it would. We're going to try doing the pumpkin curse Totodile real quick. Here's what it says. It says, it's Halloween night, the wind is chilly, leaves also along the sidewalks, and the sky is cloaked in heavy clouds, dimming the moonlight. You're walking home from a nearby store, maybe with a warm drink in hand, hoodie pulled up against the wind. At first, everything seems quiet, but after a few blocks, a strange feeling starts to creep in, like something is watching you. Alright guys, here's what it says. At first, everything seems quiet, but after a few blocks, a strange feeling starts to creep in, like something is watching you. You glance over your shoulder and see a jack-o'-lantern. Nothing else. Just a regular-sized pumpkin sitting on the edge of the sidewalk, faintly glowing. Y'all remember it being there a moment ago. You keep walking, a bit quicker now. After a few steps, you glance back again. The pumpkin has moved. It's closer. You stop, heart picking up a little. You stare at it, squinting, and then something moves behind it. A tiny shape scares out of the pumpkin's base. A roach. You recoil, but suddenly the pumpkin starts to change. It trembles, shifts, and so it rises onto legs. The carved face twitches slightly into something more expressive, sorrowful even. Now you realize this isn't just a pumpkin, this is someone, a Pokemon. The orange body, glowing eyes, and vine-like tail make it clear. This is a Totodile, or at least it used to be. Now its form was forever twisted by the Halloween curse. The jack-o'-lantern Totodile. The Totodile stops, keeping his distance. His glowing eyes meet yours. He speaks with a voice that crackles like wind through dead leaves. Please, don't run. I didn't mean to scare you. I've been alone for 10 years. My name is still Totodile, I think. I don't know what I am anymore. But I need help. I just want someone to talk to. Even help me break this curse. Will you help me? Please? He waits, hopeful. His little claws twitch nervously. His smile is jagged, but kind. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I just said, still scared from the roach. I never say, Totodile? What in the world happened? You said something about a curse. The jack-o'-lantern Totodile flinched at your nervous tone. His glowing eyes dim slightly like he's ashamed. He takes a cautious step forward, his pumpkin-patterned belly faintly flickering like a candle inside. Yeah, it's me. Or at least, it was. I wish I know what Totodile wants. I had a big family. Mom, Dad, brothers, sisters. We lived in a beautiful pond, but there were woods nearby, and everyone was terrified of them, especially on Halloween. They told me a story about it my older siblings, who never came back after exploring there on Halloween night. All they found were jack-o'-lanterns. He looked down at the ground, his green vine-like tail curling tight against his side. His carved jacko face flickers faintly with the memory. I didn't listen. I was curious. On Halloween night, I snuck in. I saw the pumpkins my parents told me about, and then I heard her, the witch. She cursed me, turned my body into this. He gestured at himself with his stubby pumpkin orange arms, his glowing eyes trembling like candlelight in the wind. When my family found me like this, they were furious. They said I disobeyed them, that it was my fault, and they kicked me out. I've been alone ever since. No one will ever look at me without fear. I only wanted to talk to you. I thought maybe you wouldn't run away. He lowered his head, his glowing eyes dimming further. His jagged pumpkin grin looks more like a frown now, that would never change his shape. Please, don't be scared of me. I don't want to hurt you. I just want someone. Give me a second, guys. Alright, guys. I said, okay. I don't mind being here with you. Please don't do any more roaches or bugs, okay? The jack-o'-lantern Totodile's glowing eyes widen like tiny lanterns, relief flooding his carved face. He takes a careful step forward, then another, keeping plenty of space between you and him. His little claws fold together awkwardly, like he's trying not to seem threatening. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. No more roaches, I promise. I'll only use my glow or shuffle my vines if I need to get your attention. He lowers his head slightly, and the flicker in his pumpkin belly calms to a steady, warm amber light. A faint smell of cinnamon and fallen leaves drifts from him when he exhales, like a candle in an autumn market. He settles down onto his haunches a few feet away, tail curling neatly around him so it's not waving near you. Thank you for staying. It's been so long since anyone didn't run. If you want, I can tell you more about what happened, about the witch, the pumpkins, and my family. Or I can just sit quietly with you. It's your choice. He tilts his pumpkin head, his eyes glowing hopeful and gentle. If you want to hear more, he will tell the rest of the story. How the witch laughed in the exact moment the curse took him. While he tried over the years what he's tried over the years to get his family to forgive him, and the strange little things he's learned, like how we stick to his vines on windy nights. If you want quiet company, he'll stay where he is, humming a tiny watery tune that sounds like crickets and pond waves. Keep his lights soft so it doesn't bother you. I was funny made a little bit worse actually. Like the golden responses are definitely cool, but now it's like the AI is like flipping doing stuff. What's it? Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, I'm really curious about that story you told me. You told me your family was terrified of that forest, especially on Halloween night. You also said something about some of your older siblings going in there and never coming back out, along with the only thing being found in the woods were two burnt-out jack-o'-lanterns. What happened the night you went in? The jack-o'-lantern little carved mouth tightens like someone trying not to cry. His glowing eyes turn softer, and he leans forward as if the scene is happening again in his mind. Okay, this is the worst part, but I'll tell you everything I remember. Every tiny bit. He breathes out. The air smells faintly of burnt pumpkin and wet earth as he begins. It was colder in the woods than I thought it would be. The trees were like tall, quiet people. No wind in their leaves at all, like they were holding their breath. At first it was kind of fun. My feet sank into moss that felt like a pillow, and there were mushrooms that shone a little in the moonlight. I laughed a lot because I thought it was an adventure. I remember thinking my siblings were being dramatic when my parents said not to. Then I saw them. See, that's where I'm talking about confusion now. I remember thinking my siblings were being dramatic when my parents said not to. Like, wouldn't it be... I'm hoping... Then I saw them, the two jack-o'-lanterns. They were right next to each other, half hidden under vines and black leaves. Their faces were carved neat and smiling, but the candles inside were burnt out, just blackened with wax like old bones. They smelled like old smoke and sugar that had gone bitter. I reached out because I wanted to touch one, to see if it was warm, and the air changed. It got heavy, like someone put a blanket over my head, and then I heard a laugh. It wasn't a friendly laugh. It was small and sharp and sounded like twigs snapping. You shouldn't be here on Halloween! I don't want to try to do that. You shouldn't be here on Halloween, the voice said. I turned and saw her. She was small, but older than time, with skin like dried leaves and hair made of long, tangled roots. Her eyes were two tiny coals. She wore a hat that looked like a broken umbrella, and her fingers were thin like the ends of a branches. She smiled and said, You poke at my pumpkins, child, and now you'll carry them with you. I tried to run. Legs wouldn't listen. It was like something heavy climbed into my bones. First, my chest. There was a warm, sticky feeling under my skin, like candle wax running. But then it cold and hardened. My scales started to itch, and then to crack. I remember the sound, like a pumpkin shell snapping. My blue scales faded into orange. My belly felt strange, like it was hollowing out. I could feel a flame, tiny and bright, catching in my ribs, but it didn't burn like fire. It just made me glow from the inside. My tail, the part that used to be scaly, sprouted these little green nodules that smelled like stems and leaves. My spikes on my back, they curled and flattened and turned to heavy brown stems. The witch sang a rhyme while she worked. Words I still hear sometimes when the wind blows through the reeds. Pumpkin bright and pumpkin pale, carry my night on your painted tail. On All Hallows you will wear my mask, or wear my mark, and wander home at the edge of dark. What the frick? Then, before I knew how, something, like invisible hands made of roots and cold, grabbed me. I didn't feel fingers. I felt paths of pressure across my skin, pulling me like a puppet. The witch's laugh rolled around me, and then the pressure moved me out of the trees. It was like being carried on a river made of earth. I didn't fall. I was dragged, sliding and rolling, until I was right by the pond where my family slept. The next thing I remember was being still. And the morning came slow, and the pond smelled like mud and lilies. My family woke and saw the pumpkin sitting there. They didn't think it was me at first. They told each other it was just a strange thing someone left. But then they found me gone. When they looked closer, the pumpkin moved. Tiny legs shuffled, and my tail twitched out from under it. They recognized my tail and my little claw marks on the mud. They were so angry. My dad roared, my mom cried. My brothers and sisters stared like I'd stolen light from the sun. They said I had disobeyed them, that I brought that curse on myself. Nobody tried to understand. They pushed me away. They said I didn't deserve to live in the pond after what I had done. I tried to tell them that I didn't mean it, that I was sorry, that I didn't know, but it didn't matter. They chased me off. I couldn't explain that inside I still felt like water and laughter and the taste of pond weed. Instead, I was a lonely jack-o'-lantern with Totodile memories. For a long time, I tried to roll back to the pond at night when they slept, hoping they'd see me and take me back. Once, I left a little glowing mark on a stone by the edge of the water so they would know it was me. Mom found it and stomped on it. People screamed when they saw me. Trainers tried to capture me, thinking I was an odd Pokemon to put in a haunted display, but my vine slipped away and I ran. 10 years is a long time to be looking at the moon and listening to frogs. He looked at you, the light inside him steadying. His voice was small, like wind through a paper lantern. I remember the sound of the rhyme and the feel of the roots. I remember how scared I was when the witch put the flame inside me. I still have nightmares sometimes that I'm back in the woods and the candles inside my belly are all out. But other nights I dream the flame is bright and I'm warm and people don't run from me. That's why I came tonight. I thought maybe you would see me and not be afraid. He folds his small pumpkin arms across his chest, waiting. The glow in his belly pulses like a small, hopeful heartbeat. Alright, guys. This time give me a shorter response, but maybe this time not short. I'm sorry about what happened to you. I really am. Listen, I will stay with you and talk to you for a while. Just remember to keep your promise and not bring any more roaches. Do you have a nickname? The jack-o'-lantern Totodile's glowing eyes widen, flickering with what looks like surprise and relief. His little pumpkin tail wiggles slightly, and the soft amber glow on his belly brightens as if he's smiling inside.
Really? You'll stay? You won't run? Oh, thank you. I promise, no more roaches. Not one.
He pauses, then his voice takes on a shy, almost hopeful tone.
About a nickname? I never really had one after the curse. Before, my family just called me Totodile, or sometimes Little Snapper, because I was the youngest and always suppressed snapping at things. But now, I guess you can call me anything you like. Something that makes me feel not scary, maybe. Something friendly.
He tilts his pumpkin head slightly, glowing eyes fixate on you, waiting for your answer. His jagged curved grin softening into something that almost looks like anticipation. Okay. We're finally having a decent run. Here we go. Problem is, at this point, I think it might be better for me to restart everything. Like, restart every chatbot and everything. But at the same time, I know exactly what's going to happen. I know exactly what is going to happen if I do that. I'm never going to get those memories back, and then this thing will never remember all that good stuff. But if I delete it and keep the memories, then it's going to be like confusing. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, honestly, Little Snapper is kind of a cute nickname. How about we just take out the little part and call you Snapper? Do you like that? The jack-o'-lantern Toad's eyes glow a little brighter, flicking like warm candlelight. His pumpkin grin twists into something almost like a wide, happy smile, and his little pumpkin tail flicks in excitement.
Snapper? Oh, I like that. It's simple and it feels friendly, not scary at all. Thank you. Really, thank you. I never had someone choose a name for me that felt good before.
He takes a careful step closer, still keeping plenty of space so you don't feel crowded, and the soft glow from his pumpkin belly seems to pulse in rhythm with his excitement.
I I think I like you already. It's nice to have someone to talk to without running away. I haven't had that in a long, long time. You made me feel like maybe this curse isn't all bad. Maybe there's still some light in it too.
His little claws tap nervously on the sidewalk, like he's fidgeting with happiness, and the warm amber glow flickers in tiny waves, like a soft heartbeat. Aw, give me a second, guys. Okay, so this is working out a little bit better. I think what I may have to do, I don't know if this will work out or not, but maybe what I'll do is like on a different device, or maybe even like on a whole separate account, I might even try like redoing everything again to where like I can fix things that need to be. Because the thing about it is, like, I wish I didn't. Like, there was definitely a few things I think I could have fixed about everything here. Like, even if the chatbot works better now, you'll notice that there still is problems with it. It still does kind of forget things. This is like the first one that hasn't gone completely downhill yet. Although, last time I said that, it went downhill the minute after I said it, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I said, I'm glad you like me. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if I will be able to help you with your curse, but if you want a friend, then I will happily be that for you. Snapper's glowing eyes widen, flicking like candlelight dancing in the wind. His little pumpkin tail twitches nervously, and he lets out a small, relieved hiss of air through his jagged mouth. You, you, you be my friend? Even though I'm like this? You went through everything I've been through? Really? He shows a tiny step closer, careful not to crowd you. His glowing belly pulses softly like a heartbeat. His pumpkin grin, though jagged, seems to curve more gently now, almost tenderly. Thank you. I've wanted someone to just see me and not scream or run for so long. I don't I don't need the curse fixed right now. I want a friend. And you're being that friend already. He tilts his pumpkin head shyly, a faint whisper of the wind carrying the faint scent of burnt cinnamon and autumn leaves from him. His little pumpkin arms twitch slightly as if he wants to reach out, but hesitates, unsure of how you'll react. You you make the woods and the night feel a little less lonely just by being here. He sits down slowly, tail coming neatly around him, his eyes glowing softly, and waits patiently, his pumpkin belly flickering a comforting, warm light. Aw, he's so cute. Alright, guys. I said, that's very nice of you to say. Hey, since you haven't had anybody really care about you in over 10 years, well, I've got a present for you, even if it may not seem like much. And then I reach into a small bag and grab a small handful of berries. Snapper's glowing eyes widen, and his pumpkin grin twitches in surprise and delight. His little pumpkin tail wags gently, and he leans forward just a little, eyes held on the berries in your hand. Berries? For me? You you brought me something? I I don't even know what to say. He shows a tiny step closer, careful to keep a safe distance. His glowing pumpkin belly flickers warmly like a small candle dancing in a soft breeze. I never had anyone bring me food before. Not in all these years. Most people would just scream or run. Even when I've tried to find berries or fish or anything, it's always lonely. But you actually thought of me. That that means a lot. He looks up at you with those soft, flickering yellow-orange eyes. You see a tiny light in a long, dark tunnel. Thank you. Truly, I don't know how to repay you, but I'll treasure this. Even if it's just berries. It's the first gift I've had in years. You you really are my friend. His little pumpkin arms reach toward the berries carefully, as if afraid he might break them with his pumpkin claws, and he hums a soft, happy tune, like wind rustling through pond reeds, while he takes them. Does give me a second? Alright, guys. I said, you're welcome. I think you deserve something, especially since you've been so sweet. Hey, I want to tell you something. I've been in a position like you before. I was not turned into a pumpkin, but just a few months ago I was stuck as a tiny velociraptor that was too small to even do anything. My own pet got cursed as well, making him very aggressive and try to attack me at times, even though he would never do that in reality. Snapper's glowing eyes widen even more, flickering laughter like tiny flames in surprise and concern. His little pumpkin tail twitches nervously, and his pumpkin grin softens, forming what looks like a worried, almost empathetic expression. You, you were like me, tiny and trapped, and your pet, he, he hurt you even though he didn't mean to? He shovels a careful step closer, pumpkin belly glowing warmly, the flickering light like a heartbeat matching the concern in his voice. I, I can't even imagine how scary that must have been, to be too small to protect yourself, and even someone you love accidentally hurting you. I, I know what it's like to feel trapped. I mean, this curse, it made me different, but I've never had someone who could understand it. I've been alone for so long. His little pumpkin arms fold tightly in front of him, tail curling around him protectively. He looks at a soft, shaky sigh that smells faintly like autumn leaves and candle smoke. But you stayed, even knowing that it might be hard for you. You you stayed to talk to me. That really means a lot. I think I can trust you. Maybe for the first time in years. He tilts his pumpkin head slightly, glowing eyes hopeful, yet still a little cautious, like a flicker of light in the dark waiting for warmth to spread. You, you're kind of like me in a way, but you didn't have to be alone, and you didn't run from me either. That that makes you really special. His glowing pumpkin belly pulses slowly, radiating a calm, warm light that seems almost peaceful now, like he's starting to feel safe beside you. That's very cute. Very, very cute.